2 more weeks until the king is here. Let's turn to. Welcome to Boxing Fan Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. Y'all can refer to me as Miss T. Um, y'all gotta bear with me. I'm sick as hell right now. I had some dental work and all that crap they put in me. I don't feel good at all. But I'm gonna try to go on with the show and try to be gleeful and cheerful. Not the end of the world, but it felt like crap. Anywho, so I said 2 more weeks before the fight. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close. Uh, Deontay, it looks like this fight is going down October 9th. Y'all be sure to save y'all decades and catch this fight. This is definitely a barn burner. And it sounds like their fight card is going to be good October 9th on pay per view. Okay? If you got cable, just go order it through your regular pay per view channels. Fury is with Top Rank, so I'm sure Fox, ESPN, or whatever is going to be involved. And Deontay is with PBC, so you can get the fight either way. But hold on 1 second, I got a call. Hello, you on speaker?
Yeah,
Yeah, you on speaker?
I'm on speaker. Okay, what's wrong?
None. I'm starting the show.
Okay, text me this number time here. I'm gonna get him to call in.
The number. Okay. All right.
All right.
Bye bye. So my bad, y'all. Like I said, I don't feel too good, but I'm gonna try to brave through it. We got a special treat for y'all tonight. It's grown woman talk, and that'll be starting shortly. But like I said, the fight is coming up. You got some notable fighters on this card. Deontay gonna kill that boy. Well, bring him within an inch of his life. Um, I do have to say, I didn't read much on it, but I did see something about the fact that they may be moving Tio Pima Lopez and George Cambosa's fight from October 4th yet again. And it's a tentative date, so they don't have a real date. I could go into speculation as to why that's happening, but this was a disaster from the beginning. Triller is on the hook to do this fight, or they can let go of that purse bid, and then it'll go to the second bidder, which would be Eddie Hearn. Um, and then I think Bob Arum bid it last place. So if Camboso back out the fight, remember it's a mandatory that Teofimo has to fight Isaac Cruz. I've been talking about this guy for a long time, and I don't know if a lot of y'all seen him. He's been on Showtime. He been on cable, and this guy, this guy is like, I don't know how to describe him. He's relentless. He has power and he knows it. He comes in to destroy you, and that's all to the good. That's if Cambosa don't step up, but I understand Cambosa. He's frustrated right now because they keep moving shit. He been wanting to get this fight over with. But all the games, he probably not with it. But we'll see. I mean, that's a big payday. So I say, hold your horses, be patient, and get y'all payday. But you know, that fight gonna move. That was one of the ones I told y'all to watch out for, and now it might not even happen on the date. I suspect football probably got a lot to do with it. I suspect that a lot of people haven't bought the fight yet. Got a lot to do with it. But I think Triller should just go ahead and let this fight go and cut their losses. The more they keep stalling, the more money they lose. Because when you set up a fight and you got a date and everything's going, somebody got paid. And every time you switch it up and all that, somebody else got to get paid. So Triller, my advice to them, not that they looking for it, would be to just go ahead and do the fight. Whether they sell one pay-per-view, I'ma buy it. You can count on me or not. Just get the fight, get it over with. Cause at this point, the fans are getting real tired of this shit. So let's go ahead and get it over with. But like I said, the fight that everybody looking for, October 9th. So y'all tune in. Hold on, let me get this number out. Uh, So David Benavidez was popping off at the mouth. Like I said, y'all I'm trying to be excited and everything, but I feel sick. Um, David Benavidez is popping off at the mouth, and he's telling Plant that you lucky you fighting Canelo instead of me. David Benavidez lost the belt. Canelo took it. He lost it on the scale. Canelo swoops in, take the belt as the cherry picker he is, and now he's going with Plant for the undisputed championship. And really, out of all of them, it probably should go to David Benavidez, only because I know he's a dog. He's a real fighter, and he wouldn't have ducked nothing. He will hand Canelo his ass. This I just know. But for some reason, him and Caleb Plant don't get along, and I really don't know why. Why everybody hating on you, Caleb? You just trying to be out there, doing your fights, making a living like everybody else, but everybody got hate for you. So David Benavidez, like I said, he's trying to fight him. Um, I had some news before that I didn't go over. I'm gonna try to find it. Hold on, y'all. Give me a sec. Give me a second. The ladies will be in shortly. Oh, to all my Facebookers, you got the number down the bottom. That's 706 804 4449. 706-804-4449. If y'all come into the studio, I can see you. But I'm gonna shout out to you guys, even though I don't see you. I don't see that you here. You don't show up in any chat that I can see. If y'all come into the studio, I will see all that. So you just have to go into your YouTube studio and then just come on in and chop it up with us. This was a story I had the other day that I ain't get to do. So Nonito Donaire versus John Riel Casimero. If y'all remember Casimero, he fought Rigondeaux August 14th. He claimed Rigondeaux was running. Rigondeaux actually just made him look silly. We talking about the 118-pound division. And Casimero, what I found interesting about him is he's a protege of Manny Pacquiao. And he's a true protege because check it out. He had to weigh in the day before the fight at 118. Who the hell blows up to damn near 147 by the next day? And it's all muscle with a big ass head. Who does that? What's going on? Hmm. What's really going on? And that's what I say when I think of anybody with Pacquiao team. He got Max Sayo over there that's calling out Mr. Gary Russell. And I'm watching him carefully. But Casimiro, I'm already saying, hmm. because birds of a feather flock together. We got to remember that. So if Casemiro can balloon up to that, and it's all muscle and all that, he has a problem with getting the top dogs to get in there with him. Maybe because they know something. Maybe because they know something that we don't know for sure, but we can all speculate and be on the same team. Like, hmm, how do you balloon up, dog? But they could fight for the WBO Bantamweight Championship. Nonito holds that belt currently, and Nonito actually he's in his late 30s. He was a shit in his day. And, he fell off. I guess you didn't hear much about him, and now he's come back and got a championship. I don't understand how any grown man, especially somebody that's in their late 30s, can make it to 118. But you got people like Nonito Donaire that can do it. You got people like Rigondeaux, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Um, that dude is a dog, and people be avoiding him. But the consensus is that he's boring because all he do is run. That's what they say. But he just really know how to move. He can make you look like a kid trying to get at him, and that's what he did to Casemiro in August. And Casemiro, they gave him the belt. They gave him the benefit of the doubt. But you remember what I have talked about when we was talking about the Val Paz fight and that judge coming out saying that he was giving the champ the benefit of the doubt, talking about Valdez, because some of the rounds was close, so he gave it to the champ, and we found out because I reported it. Well, and I say we because I never knew this. We found out that there is no such thing as giving the champ the benefit of the doubt. Either there's a clear winner or it's a 10-10 round. I didn't know that. I was down with the logic of why that judge for the Valdez fight was saying, I gave the benefit of the doubt to the champ. But now I know you can't do that. You got to go ahead and score that thing 10-10. So going back to Nonito Donaire, Nonito Donaire had a chance to fight Casemiro, but he chose not to. And y'all know what Nonito is about. If you don't know and you're new to boxing, this man does not play that cheating shit. He's on the drug, clean drug program. I think it's VADA or whatever, um, where he does it all year round. What you see is natural. What you see is what you get. What you see is what he worked hard for and dedicated himself to. So he tests all year, random drug tests all year. A lot of fighters don't want to do that because they know what they doing. They drinking that herbal tea. They sipping on that scissor. They know what they doing. So he just I guess they back in talks. They back to negotiating. They was like I said, they was supposed to have the fight before, and that fell through because Nonito ain't stupid. You know, like hell to the knees all. I'm not doing it. The problem is Nonito seems to feel that Casimera is not on the up and up. That's that man right to feel that, and he makes his decisions based on that. And none of us can get mad about that. Now, Donaire's advisor Al Heyman said Casimera um, said they turned the fight down when Al tried to reach out to him, try to get the fight going, hopping off. But Sean Gibbons, who is the manager of Casimera, said no such thing. No such thing happened. We did not turn down the fight. Now the WBC is ordering Nonito to defend his WBC bantamweight title against the interim champ Raymart Galba. These names is fucked up. The WBC Mauricio Mr. Cantone himself is ordering Nonito to defend his WBC belt. Y'all see how the WBC president is ordering a lot of people to fight, and he want it now. He don't want to wait. He want it now. But he don't seem to do that to his favorite fighters. I find that peculiar. You know, he's making orders like y'all got to fight now. Y'all got this many days to fight, but not to his favorite fighters. You don't see none of that going on. So we know the Owl is not lying when he say he reached out to the Casemiro team. They know they scared of Donaire. They need that extra to get at Donaire's neck. They can't just do it naturally. They gotta have some power pellets. That's what I'm gonna start calling it. They gotta have some power pellets with them. Um, so Top Rank, which is owned by Bob Arum, wants a rematch between IBF / WBA 118-pound champion Monster Inoue. That's what Top Rank won between Donaire and Monster Inoue. Now, when Donaire beat him, nobody thought that was gonna happen, but they want the rematch. That's gonna be a barn burn. And Inoue and Donaire feel the same about Casemiro. They don't trust. They don't want. They don't want nothing with him. They're not scared of him. It ain't like he can technically beat them. You talk about Monster anyway, and you talking about Donaire, and compare him to Casemiro, Mero or whatever, who should be fighting in the junior welterweight division or the lightweight or the junior lightweight division instead of 118. Because again, he had to weigh in for the Rigondeaux fight, Casemiro that is, at 118. And I'm supposed to believe that by the next day, this man is close to 147. And even if I believe that, do you think that I'm going to believe that it's all muscle? The man ain't fat, all muscle. Got big tree trunk legs like Pacquiao. Cause even if he walk around at that weight or whatever, that's his natural weight. Think about it. How you get down to 118? I can see if you was 165 or something, and you drop down to 147. But I really don't see 147, something like around there, close to 150, dropping down to 118. I can't see it because the body structure of a 118 pounder, no matter if they're a man or woman, is way different. The bone density, the body structure or size, I just don't see it. You walking around at 150, but you got the bone structure of somebody who weigh under 120. Hmm, That's a big drop. And I don't see how none of that shit can happen, like I said, overnight. But leave it to Team Pacquiao. All things are possible, right? All things are possible. So Donaire and Inoue seem like the better fight. People will see, people will want to see that one. They will want to. They will want to see him chop it up with Casemiro because they know Donaire will probably hand them an ass whoop. He ain't rigging out. He ain't gonna move around the ring that much. And dude look like he in good shape. Anyway, said it's anyway fighting at the best to knock this dude off his pedestal. But they not, like I said, they're not crazy. They see what they see. They see what I see. You don't have to be an expert, in bodybuilding or body fitness or the body structure. You don't have to be an expert to see that something ain't right all the way. So that's what they own. And Casimir would not be an option if you ask him. Even Richard Schaefer said, sorry, I'm been in there reading. Even Richard Schaefer said that Al reached out to them, reached out to Team Casimiro get the fight going. But Casemiro and his team is maintaining that never happened. So two people can be wrong. Two people saying the same thing. Like, why would Richard Schaefer say that's what happened if it didn't happen? What would be the point of him lying? We can see the point of any, fighter lying, but what would be the point of him lying? What would be the point of Al Heyman lying? You talking about the 118 division? A lot of people in the boxing world is not stud on that. They not worried about the 118. They cover it, they deal with it because it's boxing. But the top notch weight divisions in boxing is right now is always gonna be heavyweight though. That's always the case. As long as there's somebody who we can call the heavyweight champ, there's always gonna be people who's into the heavyweight division and wherever Canelo is going because they want to make him a superstar. So if he's at 175, 168, 160, or I don't think he's going back down lower than that. But the top notch weight divisions is the 160, 168, 154. Like I said, it's a monster division. Boy, oh boy. All them guys in there is thorough. I can't even, that's one division I can't even look in and say, hey, look at this whack ass motherfucker right here. Look at this dude right here. What is he doing? I don't be having those feelings about 154. And the leader of that division is Jamel Charlo. Hands down. He's the leader. But it don't matter who you talk about out of that division, them motherfuckers thorough. You know what I'm saying? Every last one of them. At the top echelon fighters. You just go down the list. You know what I'm saying? Tony Harrison. Him and Jamel don't get along. But you got him, the dude Jamel just fought. Cassiano, I think. J Rock. Heard. Laura. I don't even like Laura, but I don't know if he's settled in the 160. But Laura was in 154 at one time. Just a whole lot of folks. You really can't go wrong with that division. Um, 147 division is steep. Of course, you got Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter. That Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford fight is coming up in November. That's why I say for boxing, November is gonna be a hell of a month. You got Virgil Ortiz, Bruce Ennis. I can't wait till that dude shine. Bruce Ennis, I want all of them. And y'all know that Terrence is my guy, but I want Terrence to get him a shot too. Y'all don't stall Boots out. Let him get in. Let him get a piece of the pie. Because I just believe he is the up and coming. He gonna be the top dog when the top dogs either move on, retire, or whatever. Boost is on deck to be next. The next one is steep. Is the 135. Got Tank, Tio, Lomo. Devin. Just to name a few. But I can't say about that division, even though I pay attention to that one more, and 147 more, and 154, and 160, and 168 more. Uh, the 135 division, I can't say everybody thorough in there. The ones I just named, yeah, they are. Really ain't got much to say about the 140 division. You got Josh Taylor, he's the leader of that pack because he's the undisputed champ. Now he probably not going to defend his championships. Don't know why. A lot of champions do that. They get these belts, they move up. As y'all know, I said Canelo gonna do the same thing. When he get his belts, he's gonna move up. That dude is not gonna stick around to defend his title with no one. But move up where? Is 175 gonna be your rest stop, Canelo? I don't know. Wherever he can get away with being him. Wherever the pastures are greener, where he can do what he want and don't be accountable to nothing. That's where he gonna land. But Canelo, he be calling out the light heavyweights. But if you run across one that can move, he might not want to do that. you know. So I'm just telling y'all like updates and whatever. It wasn't too much that has changed in the boxing world in this week. We just all hoping and praying that when the dates arrives, that we have a chance to see these fights and for stuff not to come up. Like I'm actually looking forward to Teofimo's fight that's coming up on the 4th, but now they're gonna move it. It's not, I don't get mad at Teofimo or the fighters. I'm actually getting disappointed with boxing in general, you know, because we be looking forward to that, and then it don't happen. So what we supposed to do? One by one, our fights disappear, and that stuff got to stop. It's either to COVID, somebody getting an injury, people feel it. The promoters feeling like they ain't making no money. That's what I think Triller feel like right now. We lost money, but Triller, in order for you to survive, you got to stay the course. You win some, you lose some. You won with that event that you just put on September 11th. You was winning when you put that event on with Jake Paul. Yeah, you're losing with Teofimo and George Camboso. But don't keep moving the fight because that's not the answer. The answer is not to keep moving it. Just get it over with. Let it be done already. I'm sure you want to put this shit behind you as much as we as the fans want to see the fight. Stop moving around. Um, the ladies will be here shortly, y'all. If y'all want to call in, that's 706 804 4449. That's 706 804 4449. You guys can call in. I see some people in here. Shout out to my people on Facebook. Y'all come on in to the studio and welcome to the chat. I cannot see you on Facebook. I wish I could because that's a different platform. I'm going through my platform in YouTube. And so I always try to make it a point to say that because if you're over there on Facebook and you might be shouting me out and I thank you for it, but I can't see it. I'm actually gonna invite people. I'm gonna put this link in the chat. And if y'all want to beam in, you can do that too. The link is in the chat. You can hit that and beam in. So I'm just waiting for the ladies to step in the building. I thank y'all for bearing with me. Whew. A sister is hurting. Y'all have no idea. I've already thrown up twice. I know y'all say that's TMI, but I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Like, and it's not, I don't have the Rona or anything like that. I went in to handle some business with my VA today, and I also stopped by the dental clinic because one of my fillings that came out. And Lord have mercy, this has been a long day since then. One of the fillers fell out, and parts of the tooth was stuck in my gum, embedded. And oh my God, getting that motherfucker out. I almost choked the doctor. I missed him by that much. Remember Maxwell Smart? Because I just have reflexes when I feel pain. He seemed like he got his foot on the chair. This is what I'm thinking in my head. He got his foot on the chair. He got the things, he in the gum and he's like pulling that mess out. And he said, yeah, this tooth isn't, I thought the tooth was gonna be about that big or something, like I thought he was pulling the whole tooth, but it was some little teeny piece of tooth. But when the filling broke. But somehow or another it got embedded in my gums and my tissue was growing over it. I lost the feeling actually last week. He said, how are you walking around with this? And I don't do pain. So he did what he could. Then he sent me over to the base. And them folks over there, we got to call him. Why you hang up? Call back 804. I was trying to get to you. Call back. But yeah, he sent me over to the base. And so I'm over there on the base. Them people don't got no kind of chill. I almost choked that doctor. You know, he's tapping each tooth. Do this hurt? Pop, pop, pop. I said, please don't do that because I know it's gonna hurt. And he did it, and I was like, hands went up. I missed him by that much because he was kind of like over me, almost. He wasn't straddled over me, but he was kind of like that on one side, and my arms just came up, and I wouldn't have cared what I did to him because he wasn't caring what he was doing to me. So they got the point because I had my hands up. I was ready to throw them hands. The undercard. I'm the undercard. The 2 week in advance undercard of Deontay Wilder. Yes, I was about to throw them hands because my hands were. Whoop. And he was like, calm down, both. Y'all the motherfuckers that need to calm down. We got my girl Lisa in the building. What's up, Queen?
Hey, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clear. Can y'all hear her? Chime in the chat. I had a caller. They hung up. I want them to call back or whatever. What's popping?
Nothing,
Everybody
nothing.
else gonna be on CP time. They're supposed to come in here. Where you at, Carmen? Where you at, Butter? What's good? Look, she gonna tell me what time. I told her. Say right now. Right now, Carmen. I don't know if you're looking at it. Boss Red, what's popping, King? Peace to the queen. We waiting on some more queens. What's up? How holiday today?
Oh, same old little, my world, nothing but foolishness and a little bit of conflict resolution. So I did my thing, held it down.
I feel you.
Mhm. How's the
And
show? How's the show been going this evening?
I've been trying. I know they gonna say, "What the fuck is wrong with this girl today?" Lisa, I'm sick as a dog. You hear
Are
me?
you?
I'm sick. This y'all show today. I'm doing the best I can. Yeah, it's just I guess my body ain't agreeing with all that shit. When I tell you they had to numb me, like for
Mhm.
some reason that side of my mouth don't numb easy. I must have got over 12 shots.
Ooh, child.
Oh, total. Like because I know I got like 5 at the VA and turn around and got like 8 at the with the place they sent me to. He's like, I
Yeah.
want to make sure. And man, they got the little things now where they in there and you can see it up on the TV. So I'm looking at this whole. I had to basically get a root canal. It wasn't a root canal first, but the way the filling popped out and how the teeth cracked and was embedded in my gum, it turned into a root canal. Put it that way. I fucking hate root canals.
Mm.
I should
Yeah.
try it today, y'all.
Yeah, I think I would have passed out watching them dig in my mouth. I'm like, turn that monitor off. I don't need to see this traumatic. I don't need to see my traumatic experience. It's traumatic enough.
You
I
say
don't
you
need to
don't want to
watch
see
it.
the
No,
chalk line.
no, I don't need to see all that. I don't need to see all that. But let's go ahead and knock this thing. Where Carmen at? Where she at?
And Carmen said she'll be here in like 10 minutes. She's driving home, so she'll
Okay,
make it to the house in a minute.
okay.
Carmen. Where Butter at? Butter, where you at, girl?
Mhm.
So what topic we talking about today, Lisa?
I don't know. We have a variety of topics we could talk about. I assume, we could talk about um, why men ask that question or why women ask the question of why, what you bring to the table and exactly what are they saying. when they're asking what do you bring to the table.
What's the
Um,
underlining message? Is what you're
what
saying?
message are they trying to send us? Are they trying to gauge us as materialistically, or what our foundational beliefs are, as far as
Mm.
faith, family, finances. Exactly what are they saying? Because I'll
What's the
tell you,
deal?
yeah, because
Hold on, let me
like,
shout out Best Pugilist. So Lisa, when sometimes these chats come up and I post them, I want to shout out to King and Queens that joined the building. What's poppin', King? Best Pugilist. He says salute to the goddesses and salute to the chat. Yes, indeed. So go ahead,
mhm.
Lisa. I'm sorry, but I want to shout out
Of
my
course,
guest
we
that
need to
I'm
get some of
with.
the fellows. I would love to for the fellas to chime in on this topic, because
Yeah.
um I find that question condescending.
Mm.
I find it actually ridiculous for someone to ask whether it's a male or female, particularly toward a woman. I find it condescending. I find it disrespectful to ask someone what they bring to the table, and I'll tell you why. Um, because it gives the impression that you feel like I'm beneath you and you're superior to me, and that it puts a woman in a position as if she needs to prove her worth to you, of why she needs to sit at your table. And you hear a lot of women, when they're talking to you, they'll list off their accolades, like, I own a house, I make this much money a year, I'm financially secure. And that's a byproduct of always feeling like they got to prove themselves to a person, a man, because they've been asked that question as if they've been on an interview. So now they feel like, whenever I introduce myself to somebody, I gotta run down my resume. I can give you my highlight reels of what I got. And I'll walk away from this table if I'm ever asked that question. Because I've been asked that question. I literally have got up and walked off. Because what I feel, you'll get to see what that person has by spending quality time with them, by talking to them. You'll get to gauge whether or not that person is for you, and all those questions will be answered. For instance, if one of your um if one of your standards, if they have to be independent, well, if they start asking you for $20 for gas, within a certain amount of time, then that person isn't for you. So that's just one of my things. Just get to know a person. You don't have to interview someone to figure out whether or not you are compatible financially, if you're compatible spiritually. You'll get to know that person by just talking and getting to spend some quality time with them. But don't go in with this mindset of, I'm superior and you need to prove to me why you need to sit at my table.
So basically, you saying this is in bad taste, and
It is a bad thing.
the cart before the horse type thing,
Hmm.
putting the cart before the horse, and as far as men and women go, but you have experienced it now. I would say I have never been asked that question, so I
I
personally don't know how to feel about that.
hmm
Butter is in the building. What's popping, Queen? But are you there,
Yeah,
Butter?
yes, I am. Hello, Queens. How are y'all doing tonight?
We good.
What's
How are
good? What's
you?
good?
Good, good, good. All right. Well, I can say that I have been asked that question. Maybe that's just something that people like to say when they can't say anything else other than trying to figure out a person for who they are. Um, I can agree that it's not a proper question to say to anybody, but the way the world is running now, I think I said this before, the women is, taking over being leaders. Sometimes men's trying to get into, the women's head to see what they can do and what they can probably provide for them, because maybe they don't even want you to know what they have, you know, I'm not gonna say it to offer, but to offer other than their, you know,
Mm-hmm.
pain that says.
You can say
So
that thing a lang.
they're
Mm-hmm.
dying our line
Like dang a lang a
because
lang.
a real man wouldn't even ask a woman that. A real man wouldn't. They would actually, get to know that person for who they are, and what you bring it to the table is yourself. Yourself. Now, if you want to grow and make it work together, then that's something you learn as you go along because first you got to get into the person mind and see where they have what energy that they would bring far as you working it out. Now, if you're going to worry about my pockets before worry about my body and soul, then therefore me and you ain't work it out. We can't even have a conversation.
Mm.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So again, all that comes with time. You'll find out if this person is for you. What I look at is I look at, a person's character. That's the essence of who a person is. So if your character is out of order, that matters a lot to me, more so. I won't say money doesn't matter, because money does matter, because I need to know that you're independent. So that will come out again once you get to know somebody, whether they independent or they are dependent. You just ask a simple question, hey, you know,
What's your name? How are you doing
how
today?
you doing?
Would you like to go out, one day after we done had a regular conversation? Pardon me from, cutting over you, Lisa, but those are the questions that you're supposed to ask, a lady. Even if a lady sees something that she likes, she would pretty much, I ain't gonna say step to a man, but walk up to a gentleman and say, hi, me first say, if I smell your cologne, I'm gonna say, what is that fragrance? Because you sound quite
Exactly. Go with the traditional icebreakers is what y'all say.
right.
There's so much other things to talk about than what you bring to the table because it does have an air of arrogance to it. I like I say I never experienced it, but
Right.
I wonder, Lisa, have you ever experienced it in a way where you sitting there and you like, I know this motherfucker did. I know this motherfucker did. I know I make more money than him, and he
Absolutely.
gonna ask me that.
Well, that comes from trying. Yeah, I most definitely have. Like, yeah, I don't know, because you don't know how much somebody makes, but they have this arrogance. Men always feel superior, whether they garbage truck men, or they CEOs of a company. Men have this arrogance of, I'm the man. That's who I am, and I'm supposed to, whether you're supposed to give me this feeling of I'm over you. So I've had the experience of a man coming in, and I'm supposed to shrink in his presence. I'm supposed to, even if I know for a fact that I make more, my earning level is substantially more than yours. I'm supposed to act like and give him the floor as if I don't. And they come with that air. I don't know if it's overly confident or cockiness, but for me, I felt it was just cockiness. And I can sit there, and I have to, within myself, have that emotional intelligence and confidence in what I can do, not to emasculate this person in public, because I could be a
Easily see that.
savage, and I could run down my resume. I could do that. But what's the point?
Let me say shout out to Reggie Bell, was popping king. Y'all go ahead, continue. Y'all
Yeah,
can
it's like
remember
I could
shout
be a
out to
savage.
everybody.
I could be a savage and spew out my resume, and spew out, my investments, and spew out what all the, secondary incomes I have coming in, all the residual income I got coming in. But then that lets me know you in competition with me. I'm not in competition with you. So that would let me know you're not a potential partner for me, because I'm looking for a partner. So I'm already done, what, this is not gonna work out, because you have a mindset of you looking to be in competition with somebody. That's not somebody, we're not compatible. So that's what I say, as women, you got to be, I think we have to be emotionally intelligent, take a step back, evaluate, and now, and and analyze what this man is saying to you. What he's saying to you is, we are not compatible. You in competition. So versus getting in this match, this back and forth, I say I be emotionally intelligent and then say to myself, this can't go any further because we're gonna constantly be in a battle.
So let me ask you this question. So, Butter,
Yes.
when people do that, nine times out of ten, and I'm gonna come back to you with the same question, Lisa. 9 times out of 10, is that a cheap man? Cause I know me, I can't stand a cheap ass man. I can't. I can't. It makes my blood boil. So those type guys that ask those questions, are they normally cheap ass men? Butter.
Mm, you know, a selfish person. You know, way before they even have to ask that question. No, 9 times out of 10, when that question come out, it's something that within an argument, and somebody will have to say that. Well, what you bringing to the table? You know, it's not like, hey, you know, we out on a date and we asking that question. That is an informal question to be asking anybody on a date, or you know, just straight up when you meet somebody for the first time. So it's 9 times out of 10, it's within an argument. You know, after you done got to know the person, after you know, y'all probably have went out on several dates and seen that either one, female or male, was being tight. Like, you know, maybe we don't want to leave tips, or, you know, trying to see who's going to pay for dinner right now, or something that'll bring the situation up later on. Be like, look, I done did this and I done did that, and you didn't do this or you didn't do that. You know what you got to offer? What you bringing to the table? I'm showing you what I have. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it could be that way also.
Let me interrupt. Centos Boxing in the building. What's popping, King? He said, "Hello, Queens, Miss T, and ladies of the panel. Just wanted to let you know that I'm listening and enjoying the content." Centos, what time y'all going on tonight?
Hey,
Let
hey,
Lisa
hey.
know. Let
No, no,
Lisa
no.
know. Butter, what your badass dogs doing?
You know, my bougie poodles is doing just fine. Don't even call them bad. They bad to the bone. You hear me?
Bad to the bone. Reggie Bell said,
Miss
"I
Sparkle
joined."
and Miss Sparkle and Mr. Cash is
Cash.
going into their
Yeah.
bedroom.
Look, Reggie Bell said, "I joined at the wrong time, wrong night. Laugh out loud. Peace."
Definitely, definitely not. What you got to bring to the table? No, let me joke. Let me stop.
Ah, no, he was like, I said, "Is that man cheap or whatever?" Or something like that. Reggie, why you pop up with the "I joined at the wrong time"? Santos is calling. Hold on, player. Oh, what's good? Santos, can you hear me? Oh, I don't know what happened just there. I answered. Allow mic access. Oh, I don't know why it's not. They say I need to allow the mic access. Santos, try that again. I don't
Well,
know.
going back to that question, do I think that person is cheap? I that's that's I wouldn't necessarily say that person would be cheap, but
Right.
I would go and question, what is that person insecure? If there's some insecurities there, to be for that person to ask or feel some kind of way about what a person has to offer them.
Maybe they.
Are they a giver, or are they always going to be a taker in a relationship? So I would question their character, because some people can be cheap, because some people may say I'm cheap. There's certain things that I just ain't gonna buy, and they like, girl, you cheap. But there are certain things that I will splurge on. So being cheap and frugal are really
Frugal.
are subjective, because every person, he may be cheap in one area of his life, but and frugal, but in other areas he may splurge. Because most men that are frugal, they have a very healthy 401k plan, because he's saving for his future in another area. So for me, it's subjective. But if he's cheap, and you're, you know, and he's not generous to you when you need something, then that's something that matters to you, that he's not generous when you need him, but you're generous to him. It's not reciprocal. Then that's something that you need to discuss. You're like, hey, kind of notice that every time you need something, I'm there for you, but it's not reciprocated. That's a conversation. That's not something that as any male or female need to internalize. That needs to be talked about. He may come up and say, we ain't married. I only take care of my wife. And just because you give money or whatever you're giving doesn't mean that that's what I'm going to do. And so that's a conversation that needs to be had, to say, okay, I give every time you give, I'm doing little for nothing gifts. You don't do nothing for me. And that bothers me. If you're not talking about it, and then you just label that person as cheap, and then not knowing I'm not cheap, I just don't do that for girlfriends. I will
Let
do
me
that for my wife.
let me interrupt y'all. People are trying to call, and the phone for some reason keeps saying I got allowed access. Best pugilist in the building. What's popping, King? But I,
Hey,
I I have not changed anything. Hold on, best pugilist. I have not changed anything with the phones. I really don't know. There's always something with me, huh? But anywho, we gonna make it do what it do. Best pugilist in the building. Was Poppy King? What you got
hey,
on?
good evening, Quentin. Yeah, I was trying to call in, but it didn't work. So I said, let me just jump on the stream yard
Yeah.
real quick, to chime in on your topic. Good topic, very good topic, you know, as it relates to what goes on, you know, in our community with the dating scene. But I agree with the sisters. That was like, I absolutely agree 100%. Me personally, I've never asked that question because it's not a concern of mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm more, because if I'm interested in you at all, I'm interested in you for you, not for what you have. And I guess this is something I learned from my parents. You know, my parents, both my parents is from Alabama. They was from Alabama, and they was raised in the era like of Jim Crow and all that stuff in the South. From the South, obviously Alabama. Y'all know that's the South. So um I just seen how they work together, and I had a living example from my father. My father treated my mom like gold. You understand what I'm saying? So just by watching him, I picked up certain things, and certain things, he schooled me on. And they always made me see, I always factor everything when it comes to that regard to our circumstances as a people here in this country. I factor that in everything. So I don't get caught up in that or what you bring to the table stuff. Like I don't get caught up in those type of things, because a lot of those things is outside factors that's put into our people and our focus. Well, that shouldn't be the focus. Find somebody who got a who got a similar to like mind,
Energy,
that that
yes.
that possess the qualities that you're looking for, and what you perceive to be a good woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, and somebody you can actually build with. You know, and y'all can make, hopefully y'all can make a good spiritual connection, so
Mm-hmm.
you can develop a strong base to really build upon. You know, our circumstances here in this country we face is different than any other groups that's ever been here, and it attack us from all different angles. So you find us getting caught up into these issues that we really ain't got no business getting caught up in. You understand what I'm saying? We, as a group, we economically on the lowest rank of any group here in America, and we've been here the longest. You understand what I'm saying? So I ain't concerned about that. I want to find a good, strong sister that got a good heart, good spirit, and understand our plight as a people, and we can work together and build. That should be your focus. You understand? A lot of this other outside stuff that we all in, that you hear our people into now. Oh, this what do you bring to the table? Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to get on no relationship, but that's from them other groups. That's from them other groups coming into us. That shouldn't be our focus. Our focus should be finding you any, and I'll say this to any brother. find you a good woman, a good sister that you can develop something with, make a strong connection, and y'all should both have similar interests. Now, being raised up here in America, it's all types of things that'll throw you off the track of what's supposed to be really important. And that's why you have brothers asking that stupid, excuse my French, that stupid ass question. What do you bring to the table? Because y'all so concerned with trying to be like your oppressor. Stop trying to be like him. Work to build something. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like I don't like my interest first and foremost is black women. Because I came from a black woman. You understand what I'm saying? My moms, the women I loved in my life, my moms and my grandmother, is beautiful black women. So that's always gonna be my first. That was always gonna be my first and foremost interest.
Hey,
And as
best
far as that,
pugilist. Hold
yo,
on, let me cut in on that one. A lot of black guys say that, but the you
yeah,
feel me, decent. But
Yeah.
nothing against you. I believe you, best pugilist. But a lot of guys say that, and I always wonder, like, especially if you're not asking them that. I get why you saying it in this form right here, but a lot of people say that. What do you say to that, best pugilist? Why do a lot of guys say it, but they really don't mean it?
They don't. And I
well,
let
go
me
ahead, let the
interject.
sister speak. Let her speak first.
Yeah, because and I agree with you, T, because um what I'll say to the black men when it comes to the different cultures, what I see in this particularly black men against the different cultures, they have different requirements for black women, and when they're dating or marrying different cultures. And what I mean is, and even colorism,
Hold on, let
dark
me
skin,
interrupt you, Lisa. One
huh?
second. Carmen in the building was Poppy Queen. What's up?
Not so much. How are you?
I'm good. Go ahead, continue, Lisa. We just asked a question.
And
When
so
when black men say,
black men, they
go
have
ahead, Lisa.
different requirements. So when they're assessing if they're going to take care of or provide and protect a woman in a marriage or long-term relationship. And what I mean by that is
Got
they I've seen it where they require a black woman to have, you got to have, even the physical requirements got to be a certain statue. They got to be long hair, they got to have this, they got to have all these attributes for a black woman. They got to have, they got to have all this money. They got to have all these blocks checked. But when it comes to different races, all they need to be is exotic. They can be broke. They ain't gotta have nothing going on. But long as they're a different race, they'll take them. So,
we was
so
we,
that's what, so black men, when they think we're quote unquote angry, we're not angry. We see that y'all don't have standards. But when it comes to, wife, when you're looking for a wife, only when it comes to black women, you look at us as inferior, or you look down on us, your own black women, like we less than, and we're not deserving to be your wives, as if we have to prove that we're worthy to be your wife. We got to jump through all these hurdles. We got to have this track meet, this triathlon, marathon, in order to prove we're worthy to sit at the quote unquote table to be your wife. And after we ran this 26-mile race 20 times, and we finally get to this black man, we're tired. We're tired. But this exotic woman that you chose, she didn't have to go through nothing but just to walk in your life. But she ain't gonna be with you unless you got money. Cause soon as you ain't got no money, she gone. As soon as you ain't providing for her, she gone. She
well, I
gone.
think Lisa, I think look, I ain't gonna speak for you, but the question, Carmen coming in late. So we was just with the original question is, um, like say it again, Lisa. Like, why
What
ask the
men say?
question?
What you when asked, why do people ask? What do you bring to the table? Um,
And like
and
right there in the beginning.
Yeah, what do you when people ask what do you bring to the table? What really are they asking you? What do they mean by that?
And Best
That
Pugilist brought up that he's a proud black man, that he loves his sisters and all that. And then I added in that a lot of black guys say that, but they don't mean it. Now, full disclosure, Carmen is multiple race. I always say she's Jordanese, Latino, whatever she looking like that day. But Carmen is actually German and Italian. So welcome to the panel, Carmen. But
Yeah,
that's where we at with it.
yeah, Middle Eastern, French, Greek,
Some of
Italian,
everything.
all that. Yeah.
Some of everything. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Lisa. What
no, we
happened to
can.
Butter?
Oh, she probably got a bad connection. She already said that
Okay.
building she in. She'll be back.
Oh,
She's in and
okay.
out.
Yeah.
But no, I
So
Well,
think it,
my bag, Best Pugilist. Go ahead. Go ahead.
well,
Continue what you said.
well, I can't speak. I can't speak for many other brothers in that regard. Although the sister's right, a lot of brothers they definitely on that. A lot of them on that. But as I explained, this is my personal experience. I've never been with a woman who wasn't black, so I can't speak to that.
That's
You
a
know what I'm
man.
saying? So I've never did that. So, but I know, yeah, I do know brothers that from the community, they on it like that. And I was, like I said, I was raised in an environment where I was aware of who I was and the social circumstances we live under here. So that I might be different in that regard.
mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like I always aware of that because of who I was raised around. They always made it like my grandmother, mother, and them. They was people that was marching with Martin Luther King and stuff like that. You understand? So I was already always aware of the circumstances and because of how I was raised, it plays a part in my choices in that regard. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it may be a lot of the brothers you see like that, because I always say that's a part of to me, that's just a part of the Americanism to make you not love who you are, like first. And I think that affects us as a people more than anybody else, because I have to go to that. And it affects every dynamic in our uh development as a people to who you choose and everything here in America. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you see brothers like that. You know, you have to make a stand. You understand? It's not about hating nobody else. You gotta love yourself first. Because it ain't about hating nobody. Because particularly as is always in relation to our group, whenever we focus on ourselves, everybody want to say y'all on some hateful shit. Excuse my French. You understand? Because I don't. You don't have to be. You don't have to. Loving yourself doesn't mean you hating somebody else. So for me, like I got two daughters, you know, and my oldest daughter, she's 17. My youngest is 11, right? And I'm definitely trying to help mold their minds in a certain type of way, but give them an understanding of the world and the society in which they live in. A lot of, like the sister said earlier, I heard her saying, like, she's right when she said, and I'm teaching my daughter because of what I practice. I don't practice with traditionally spiritual stuff that here in America. I don't practice that stuff. So that's another thing that I told you how I was raised. Now, my daughters, because I wanted to make sure I had at least one daughter before I transitioned out of this world. Because people see most men always concerned about their names being passed on. But honestly speaking, you need a woman to pass on you need to have at least one daughter to pass on your genealogy. Period. I don't care what you think, what you believe. And unfortunately, the sister was right. Most men, even if that sister is in a better position financially, those men will look down on her. She was absolutely right. A lot of them will look down on her. But unfortunately, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but a lot of that got to do with that religious basis from those religious stories. Because though in the Bible, no matter Any of those groups that you follow, from Judaism all the way up through to Islam, they all follow the same creation story. And in that story, the woman is blamed for the reason that humanity is in the position she is, that we are in. So they trying to put her in a bad light, which I disagree with. I'm like, keep it a buck. Like I said, the fact of the matter is, from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, my mother, Ida, she made my whole body in her body. So how in the hell could I look at any woman in a, like, I don't care what you believe. The facts is the facts. So how am I look at any woman as less than me when I couldn't be here by any other way but through no woman? You understand what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of these factors come into the play of how men view women. And I'm teaching my daughters that. I said, you got to be considered. You got to consider the fact. And my teenage daughter, because she's starting to get into boys and stuff now, I said, you got to consider the fact. When you get involved with these guys, most of them going to come from an ideology, even whether they go to church or not, or the synagogue or not, or the mosque or not. They're going to have this particular concept that they got in their head about God and his creation, and that a woman is secondary, not primary. So you got to consider that when you dating these dudes. And you got to pick somebody who really got an overstanding of the reality, not the belief system that was given to them. Because they're gonna put you in the back as a woman. That's why you got brothers on that ideology. Like, no matter how much you may have, you still less than me because you're a woman.
And that's
Unfortunately,
crazy.
and yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
yeah. Go
Let
ahead,
me
go ahead, go ahead.
let me let Carmen get in here
Yeah, yeah,
with the
yeah, yeah. Go
original
ahead.
question.
Yeah,
Carmen,
go
how do
ahead.
you feel about somebody telling you right there, like in the beginning, you're dating? Hmm. So what you bring to the table? How you feel about that, Carmen?
One, that would be the end of the date because when you first meet somebody, you're supposed to be getting to know them. I know what I bring to the table. I'm self sufficient. I've been self sufficient for over 20 years, raised kids, everything else. So I know what I have. I think a lot of it is nowadays, a lot of the dynamic has changed. Um, Feminism has gotten to an extreme, and this is an instant gratification generation. It's about me. It's about me. What dating scene is just crap altogether for a lot of things when it comes nowadays. So it's both. You have, and I'm not saying hey, feminism is good, but to the extreme, it's not. To where you're trying to take away a man's manhood and make him more feminine. Men and women are created different. They're supposed to balance each other out. Their strong points and their weak points are different. Men are more logical thinkers. Oh, majority of them. Women tend to be more emotional. Now, there are women that do tend to think more logically and everything else. So it's not a standard of a cookie cutter thing for all men or women. But a lot of it has been a result, in my opinion, has been a result of feminism going to an extreme and kind of a stereotype where it's pushed in society of you don't need a man, you don't need this, you don't need that. You might not. They get caught up on the need financially. And when you're with somebody, you should need them for other reasons. You should be self-sufficient financially, regardless of who you are. So I know for me, if I'm asked what I bring to the table, I'm going to look them straight up and down, tell them more than what you obviously bring in, and get up and walk out.
Wow. You sound like Lisa. Lisa, that about summed it up.
Yep, that about summed it up because like Carmen said, if you already know, and that's the person that's asking the question, if you already know that you're independent, and the person behind, and the person that's sitting beside you that you asked out on the date, because men, they already, they've already checked this woman out. They've already, because men read women. They can read a woman by how she's dressed, how she's talking, how she carries herself. They can tell whether she's an independent woman or she's gonna be the woman that's asking you to pay the rent or be asking you for gas money, or she's gonna be a dependent and be one of those women that need a little bit of help. You've already know that. You're gonna be able to discern that when you checking her out, or and vice versa. You're gonna be able to see all that. So asking that question, you're putting yourself in the position like you superior. And then that woman or man is, depending on their self-esteem and how they feel about themselves, then you're going to also, it's going to determine if they're going to answer that question. A woman with high self-esteem is going to do like me and Carmen. We're going to get up and walk away because we don't have nothing to prove to you.
Well, let me invite Miss Vet in the building. What's popping, Queen? What's up?
Hey,
How you doing?
all right.
We got the original question of, if you starting out on a date with a guy and he's
Mhm.
sitting there at the table and he asks you, what do you bring to the table? How you feel about that?
Mm, I don't like that because why you asking what I got to bring to the table? Do you need me to bring anything to the table? Shit.
Some people ask that. I've never had somebody ask me that. That's why I say I really don't know how to answer that question. I've never had nobody ask me that. But like with Lisa and Butter and Carmen said, I just feel like, like Carmen said, you should know by just your assessment of the person, the first assessment, that they got something to bring to the table. And they both are saying that, it gives an air of superiority on the guy's part. We talking from a woman's perspective. Best Pugilist is in the building too, so he can say, how would you feel, Best Pugilist, from a guy perspective, if a woman asks you that?
Okay.
So indeed, T, see how you said that you've never been asked that question and you wouldn't know how to feel, right? So
Right.
most women, it puts you in the position where now you feeling like, well, I don't know what to say. You put in a position of now you got to prove it. Do I prove myself to him? Because it throws you off if you've never been asked that question. Because initially I was like you, I was thrown off because the first time you asked that question, you are thrown off. You don't, you want to be polite, what you bring to the table, but you are thrown off, and it puts you in a position of, what do I say? Do I be polite and just walk off, or do I go ahead and just answer the question? Because now if I answer the question, now I feel like I'm being interviewed, and I'm feeling like you want to see my hand, and this is not, and you feel like you're uncomfortable. So yeah, it does throw you. It throws you off initially because it's like, okay, where's this coming from? Where is this coming from? And why are you asking me this? As if I have something to hide. If I'm not good enough. So yeah, I agree with you. It throws you off initially.
Well, how about this? The next time somebody asks you that, you tell them, well, Thanksgiving is in November, and I'm going to bring you to the table turkey.
I know for me,
That's right.
I don't see it as a thing where they think they're superior. I see it more as, when you're trying to get to know somebody, that's the first question out your mouth is, okay, what are you up to? What are you trying to get from me? Because that's the type of stuff that usually leeches will sit there and ask to see what they can get, what's going to benefit them, what they can get out of it.
Right.
And that tends to be more of a financial gain. And yeah, no, that comes later on as stuff develops, as a relationship develops. Once you realize, okay, this person has the character that I see myself being with to go forward, then the financial aspect goes in, because that is also an important part. Can the person handle money well? What are they going to contribute? That does come into play later. But initially, if somebody's asking that, oh, they're a leech. They're looking to gain something from you financially, and I ain't down for that.
And then sometimes they'll dress themselves up as if they have something to be able to, that phrase, bring to the table. But like everyone agrees, it's the energy. Not somebody will lift my spirits up by making me laugh, we're having a good time, and whatever special qualities that they have, I'm already going to like that off top. So if you bring that down by asking something or seeking something other than, keeping my energy levels up, then I'm going to bring yours down also, right then and there, by letting you know the qualities that you do not possess for myself.
Sitos
That's
Boxer
good.
said, "My brother, best pugilist. You got 5 queens all to yourself. You know, Sitos ain't
That boy
like that."
crazy. He crazy. Yeah, but let me say this. Like, yo, man, I definitely understand, the plight of the sisters. And like I said, I have 2 daughters. I'm a man, so I know what goes on in the men's community. So I'm making sure that I'm preparing my daughters to handle themselves well against the men out here.
Against
And I,
them.
against the men out here, like I'm very cognizant of that because I understand the mindset.
Right.
I'm a man. I've been that since I've been from a little boy to the man I am now. I've been that's why I've been around majority of my life, so I know how they think. And I'm giving my daughter the game straight up. I don't care what nobody say because ain't no man gonna whip my ass. Excuse my French for preparing my daughter the way she need to be prepared. I understand the people that I'm a part of very, very well. And I know that, and I'm telling her already, I was like, yo, when you dealing with these guys out here, you got to put them through a test.
Test.
And if they don't pass, if they mess up one time, I said, you better put tax on that floor to put gasoline over it. And if he don't walk over that shit, walk out of that door. You put that ladder up, make him jump through fire rings. If he don't do it, you walk out that door. That's why any of y'all sisters that's saying that if a guy present that question to you, but a lot of that got to do with like how you was, everybody learn. Life is the best teacher. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm doing is I'm giving my daughters helping. I'm conscious of this. I've been conscious of this since she was born, my oldest daughter, that I was going to help give her the tools to know how to navigate through this, to know how to navigate through this with the men she's gonna be facing because I know the broken people that I was born into, and I know how men think because I'm one of them. Like we got a little joke with me and my ex-wife and my daughter. It's like I'll be like, your mother can't teach you how to deal with no man. She was like, oh, shut up. That's what she always say. I was like, shit, cause she fell for my game. So how she going? So how she going to school you? And she fell for my game. So she always laugh. You get me sick. Yeah, I was like, yeah, but it's the truth. So I'm letting her know this is what you facing when you out here. I said these cats gonna have their own agenda, and you have to have your own agenda. Protect yourself, and if you can find, and I'm gonna do my best to help her. And they ain't 100% guaranteed, but I'm making it. I made it a cognizant decision to help prepare my daughter for that out here because of me being raised as a man. I was like, look, you might find some good brothers out here, but a lot of brothers got game. So I said, don't just fall for no good faith. You find out what this brother has to really offer you. What is he doing? What is he trying to accomplish? You understand what I'm saying? I said, cause they'll use you straight up. I said they'll use you for what you got, either sex or your money. I'm not I'm
Mm.
not I'm not beating around the bush with her with that. I'm letting her know what time it is. It's the truth. See, a lot of guys they'll have daughters and they like love their daughters and they might do even some of them may even dote on them, but just giving them material things is not good enough. You got to prepare them for the real world out here. I said, because at the end of the day, like I told her recently, because she's 17 now, I'm like, look, I said, you get a baby, you have a baby 9 times out of 10. Where you think that baby going to be? You understand? I said, that baby going to have to be with you. So you got to protect yourself more. Don't worry about him because he's not going 9 times out of 10. The man ain't going to get stuck with that child. So you have to be cautious about who you allow into your life and what you do. And don't let nobody make you feel ashamed of that shit or bad for doing it. Because they're not going to have to deal with whatever you have to deal with if you choose to let that go down, because it's going to be your choice. So my job is to help prepare you some for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it boils down to. So y'all sisters that saying that y'all will walk away, yo, I respect y'all, because y'all clearly have a self-esteem that I think I've seen many sisters don't have, because they'll put up with stuff like that. Because I've seen sisters do it. So the ones of y'all who say y'all would do that, if y'all really about that life, that's a good thing for y'all. Y'all should be good.
Well, it's not, most definitely, it's a process. It's not, because you're not, when you're in it, and I think all of us can attest to it, when it's different when you're trying to get to know somebody and they first ask you something retarded, and then you can walk away initially from somebody that's clearly off, not compatible with you, versus you're in a relationship and you're seeing something and then walking away. So that takes strength, that takes conviction, and that takes work. So that is the hard piece for I know myself personally, and that is the piece that I think women, we have to get better at. As if a man shows you who he is, believe
Believe
him.
him the first time.
Believe him. Believe him.
Believe them, yeah. That's
Believe him.
fine.
And
Hey,
have that,
let
and
me
let
get
him know, when he does something, check him, and
to the what?
be willing to walk away. Because what I've learned,
Yeah.
if you ain't willing to walk away, he like, oh, you really is Boo Boo the fool. You really are Boo Boo the fool. And I'm glad, I'm happy, because I know you're gonna let me do whatever I want to do, and you gonna let me do it, and I can keep coming back. And so until you hold a man accountable, and you have, and the problem with us women, we don't understand we have that influence. And
I
until we
think there's
understand
too
we
many.
have that influence, that merry-go-round gonna keep going, gonna keep spinning.
There's
Go
too
ahead,
many
Yvette.
women that are
After you.
worried about trying to stay in a relationship or have a man, and
Correct.
haven't quite fixed their own issues or their own self. They're not fully happy within themselves. The relationship is, the person's supposed to add value to your life, not complete you. You're supposed to be complete yourself. The other issue is people tend to jump in relationships without fully healing from the traumas of their past. When you let somebody overstep a boundary of yours and you don't check them, you don't walk away, what you're saying is that boundary is no longer a boundary. Now you've set a new boundary for them. You have to sit there and establish, and it's about finding the person that's right for you. If you can't accept everything about the person the way they are, it doesn't matter if the sex is good, if their finances is good, if they look good, if they do X, Y, Z good. If they're not fully compatible for you and you can't accept everything about them the way they are, then they are not for you. They can be a greatest person in the world. Wish them the best and move on. It's about finding the one that's for you. You will always be too much for some and not enough for others, and that's fine. But that's a hard lesson a lot of women. That's a hard lesson for a lot of women, because they so caught up on, I gotta have a man. I'm not a woman unless I have a man. I have to prove to this person that I can get this. I can pull this person. I can pull that. Yeah, but you're lowering your self-worth. So you really ain't shit then.
Absolutely.
Hey, I want to let y'all know the phone lines are open. I actually put the link in the chat so y'all can beam in if you want to. I think I can hold like 15 people. Yvette, what say you? What you got to say? You quiet over there. What's going on?
I'm just listening to everything, and I feel some of the way how they was feeling about that. I like I said, I don't know how. I do. When you ask me that question, what do I think about it? And really, not too many people ask me that, but I have been asked that. And when I was asked that, I was offended, because to me, it's just, I feel like you scoping out what I can do for you, pretty much what I can bring to the table.
Wow. Reggie Bell has a question, but he wanted to send it to me through my text. I told him to put it in the chat.
Yeah, it's real simple, man. For me, on a personal level, I've never asked a woman that, because like I said, that's never been my concern. Because I'm gonna find out about her. If I'm interested in her, I'm gonna find out about her. when we're dating. I'm gonna
That's
find out what
right.
I need to know. I'm gonna find out what I need to know anyway. So I don't have to ask that question. I'm gonna find out, plain and simple. That's always how it's been for me. You
And
know.
that's putting the cart before the horse on that one.
Right.
I even though I've never been asked that question, I think that's putting the cart before the horse because that's what you lead with. That's your best foot forward. What like and basically like y'all say, if I had to think about it, I am thinking like, what do I bring to the table? So Lisa, we talked about this a long time ago, and you had a creative way of asking that question instead of asking it like that. What do you bring to the table? Can you expound on your creative way of thinking? And I'm all for that because I'm gonna let her explain it. But there's different ways you can say it. But it's basically now, if we supposed to be together, what that look like to you? But Lisa, you said the best. Go ahead and break that down. Like another way of asking.
Girl, I don't forgot. Because
What?
I done asked. I done forgot how I was. Hold on.
You you caught me off guard with that one. Look, now you said because you was telling me a creative way of saying it, and I was like, but isn't that still saying it? You said no, not really, because people come up to you, profess their love, or try to act like they want to be with you and all that. But
It's
then you say, what does that look like? You make them explain what that look like. Go ahead, butter.
instead of just saying that, some people will ask you, what do you do for a living? And try to squeeze that out of you.
Hmm.
But that's a typical question. What do you do for a living? Instead of saying, what do you got to bring to the table? See, it's almost the same, but not the same.
Right, right, right. I just
You know.
like when me and
But
Lisa was talking about that.
right, I
Go
know
ahead.
what you were saying, far as what she had said earlier, because I was talking to y'all both when she said that. But I was trying to analyze it, and like most questions, or when you meet somebody, you see a person in a sweatsuit, and you see another person in a dress suit. That could just mean that they just came from church. That don't mean that they're actually a business person or running, they're a CEO or something, but they could tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, but I guess it caught me off guard. But I know we were talking about the creative ways that you could, in the stages of getting to know somebody, how you could ask that question creatively without really asking it, or just getting to know them. You could just ask, when getting to, you could ask them, what does it look like if we got to a stage of us being in a relationship and us being intermingling finances or moving in together? What would that look like to you? And so that will open up the conversation of finances. That will open up the conversation of what family looks like to him. That will open up the conversation of if that person want more kids or not. So if there's other ways
That
that you could ask. What's that noise in the background?
Hey, she got to mute her. You got to mute
Oh,
your
she want
camera, because whatever you doing, we can all hear that.
you eat some chips.
Excuse me, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm munching.
She is munching. She probably done smoked some of that ha ha.
Hey, look,
So
I need to join you.
I've never been asked that, but what I've had on dates is guys that will sit there and brag about whatever assets or finances they have, and then want to start asking you questions about yours. Usually, when they start off with what they have and what they own, I stop them right there, and I'm like, okay, that's fucking great, but who are you? Like, initially, when I'm first wanting to get to know somebody, you're not going to impress me
Mm-hmm.
with your financial situation. You're just not. Because as quick as you got it, you can lose it the next day. So I want to know, who is the person I'm dealing with? What is their character? Are they, do they have integrity? Are they consistent with stuff? I want to know who they are. From there, I'm going to go on. If the first thing out your mouth is your assets or your finances and you want to know mine, I'm not looking for a business relation or a business arrangement. I got businesses already. Have a good one. This ain't a business meeting.
This just ain't no party time.
All right. Look, I heard that.
Yeah,
But
and,
you
and the
just
thing is, some people, that's what they don't even realize that that's what they're that's the energy that they're bringing. The energy that they're bringing is they looking for a business arrangement. They looking at, oh, you make 70,000 or I make 100,000. We can bring our money together and we can get this much house. But as women, we ain't worried about your money. What we want is we want to know, are you emotionally available?
Bring our money together, we can get this much house. But it's women.
somebody got something on in the background.
Huh?
Somebody had something on in the background.
Oh, so yeah, so we want to know, are you emotionally available? We don't know. We want to know if you got 5 kids, are you in their life? You know, we want to know, do you got 10 kids?
Mhm.
We
Not
want to
5,
know, like
shit.
Carmen said, we want to know, who are you, sir? Because most time when people start, spilling off or blurting off all the accolades, that's a sign of insecurity. That's a sign of, okay, where's that coming from? Why do you feel like that's all you have to offer is money? What else
Because
you
most
got?
of the time most of the time that is. As a woman, I want to know that I want to figure out, can I be safe with you to let my guard down? Can I bask in my feminine energy around you and be safe? If I can't, that's it.
That's profound right there. Can I let my guard down? Basically, is what you're saying. Do I gotta watch my back? Do I
Because
gotta let you go to sleep first? Are you coming in the house with some rope and tape?
But we can save that for another topic, because that's a segue into, most men feel like all they got to do is provide money, take care of the house,
Mhm.
give us shelter. They don't care about asking, is our emotional needs being met? Because that has been indoctrinated, and they have bought into that lie of take care of the house. Taking care of the house looks like providing. So that is something, again, when you're getting to meet somebody, what does that look like to you? Is all you gonna do is provide for the house? Because that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
It's not what I'm looking
Yep.
for, because I'm taking care I can take care of a home by myself. I'm independent.
And
Reggie Bell's
self-sufficient.
She's
Reggie
right.
There
Bell's
you go.
She's
All
absolutely
right
right.
now.
this here
She's
is
absolutely
just
right
a
in that regard.
Scrabble.
Let them know, ladies.
I got a saying, I can feed, finance, and fuck myself. What else do you
Mhm.
bring to the table?
Oh,
And that's when they start off with that, I am quick to tell them, look, I can feed, finance, and fuck myself. What else do you have to offer? We can flip that one all day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
F
sad, but it's
F. Look,
true.
I like
F
it.
F F. F F F.
Yeah.
she said the triple F. Best pieces. Go
Yeah.
ahead, jump in there, King.
Yeah. It's the truth, because I know brothers that'll say the same thing. But at the end of the day, you know, you want to have somebody special in your life to build with and move forward with. And like I said, I had a good example with my parents. So um I just think, man, as it relates to, as I keep going back to our group, it's a reason why I'm doing that. I keep going back to that. 'Cause I think culturally, our people been so messed up because of the way the society is set up. They so messed up, like they don't know what to do. People be out here freestyling. And in general, as it pertains to, let's say specifically the black community just gets stuff that trickle down from their oppressor. So you trying to so hard to be like them. You don't even know how to be like, you don't know how to be a man. Most black men don't know how to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it a buck. See, I had my dad around me, so I saw what my dad did. Like, this ain't something somebody told me. But even in my family, I was one of the few. Me and my brothers, and we was one of the few, or some of my family members who had their father around them. A lot of my other family members, my cousins and others, they ain't have their dad around them. You understand? So they didn't have no example of that. So most don't have an example. Like I told you, my pop treated my mom like gold. So I had that living example. I ain't have to watch it in no movie. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have to watch it in no video. I saw it when I was growing up. So it's certain things I feel that our group as a culture, we done lost so much. We don't know how to do things that should be basic and normal. You know, you should know, understand. Like with my
Mhm.
son, he's about 19 now, and I was telling him when you're dealing with women, I said, understand that female, that's a real living, breathing person, yo. She got feelings too. You understand? Don't get so caught up in what you feeling and what your homeboys and your friends around you saying that you don't realize that that's a real person too. They got thoughts and feelings just like you. And see, because we so, like I said, this society done ripped away the core of who we are as a people. A lot of brothers don't know that. When you see brothers out here acting the way they act that way because they don't know. They don't have, and like I say, culturally, I get into this debate on the boxing shows a lot. When everybody talking about black culture, I'd be like, man, stop that shit. It ain't no such thing as no black culture. I said, you just mimicking the society we live in. How you gonna have a culture of your own? You can't even speak your own goddamn language. You speaking English. You speaking English. And on top of that, you speaking American English.
African
On top
American.
of that. Exactly. All these titles they done gave us. We this, we
Black,
that,
black.
we so and so. Every damn thing in the book. You know, they put on us and we just jump right to it. So I'm saying I said I look at that, and that's why I told you I'm so involved with my daughter. Because I know the people I was born into. And I don't as a man, it's my job to do the best. And I pray
Uh-oh.
that the most high just give me the help me to be able to do it to the best of my ability to try to help them to be able to maneuver through this because I understand. But like matter of fact, I got both of them. I got my 19-year-old and my daughter. I got them reading right now. I have them reading the post traumatic slave syndrome right
Mm.
now. That's what I got both of them reading right now, the post traumatic slave syndrome. So you can
Hey,
understand the
best.
mindset of the people that you're around,
Hey, best
you know?
Ruthless. Was you in the TBS last night?
Nah, I missed it. I wasn't on it
Oh
last night 'cause I
man,
was
you
taking care
missed
of
a
some
good
things.
one. You missed a good one. And what I
Yeah, I
was
got to go
talking
back and
about,
watch it.
our father, man, that show be like 6 hours
What
long.
was the
I
topic?
went
What was the topic?
everything. Everything be on the top. He talk about everything. And I like
Yeah.
how they go down, but this time around, everybody was talking one at a time. So I mean, we got on
Okay.
to how fathers should talk to their daughter because I was
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah. Okay.
what we regret when we get older is we wish our father would have put
We
us
not
up
we
on
ain't worried
game.
about your money.
Yeah,
Okay.
when we was young. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I want to
I'm gonna
ask
be on
another
there tonight.
question.
I'm gonna be
I'm
there
trying to
tonight.
be on there. Maybe the ladies might be. I can't promise them because
I'm gonna
we
be on
all
there
got
tonight.
jobs.
It's already
Yeah.
close to 12 o'clock. Might as well stay up. Give me some ice cream.
But yeah. Yeah. That's all I'm saying, man. Like when it comes down to it, and nobody got time for these games. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Cause
It
time,
really.
you can't get that time back. I don't care
But
what
that
you can't get it back. You ain't got time for that, man. I know I
What's
don't.
up, butter? What's up, butter?
um like where I stated before, it's the energy, and the qualities that you possess within each other to be able to bring something nice to the table together without having
Yep.
to ask those questions. Those
For real.
questions is, like I said, that's a hypothetical question that should not. I wish, excuse my French, a nigga would, because they would not get a chance by asking me that up. Like I said, they'll be on this Thanksgiving table, nice and well done. But
I hear that.
Let me ask another question, ladies and King. Um, what now? See, this is new to me when somebody say, "What is your love language?" One by
your
one, give it
who?
to
Mm,
me.
Your love
Love
mm.
language.
language.
Does
A love
somebody tell
language.
you? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
do
you
you
want to start
do
out,
you
Carmen?
feel loved when somebody buys you stuff when they through touch? Do they have to verbally tell you this all the time? It's like five different love languages is what they wind up categorizing it into.
Yep,
So what?
mine
Okay,
is
Carmen, you gonna? Oh, go ahead, Lisa.
yeah, mine is quality time, and I would say acts of service. A little, yeah, and a little bit, and I think over time that may change. I know quality time would never change for me, but acts of service, and I'm kind of teetering on also. If I had a third one, it would be words of affirmation. Like I gotta hear, like I need to know that I'm appreciated. So those matter to me. That not only that you show me that you appreciate me, that you tell it to me. Because if you don't tell me, I'm not gonna know. Because some men they can't apologize. They apologize by, here, what do you need fixed around the house? I like stuff fixed around the house, but that's not an apology for me.
Say it out your face.
But that also, you have to make sure that you're telling your partner those things. Just because that's your love language, I think part of the thing that I've personally seen a lot of women
communication
on is they want the guy to figure it out or anything else. I know I've never been good at mind reading. I'm good at reading people and assessing people, because that's what I do. But as far as reading their mind, no. So I don't expect anyone else to. So if I have an issue, I'm going to converse that. If there's something that I want or something that I need that I'm not getting, I'm going to let you know. Now, after I let you know, if you're not willing to sit up there and meet those needs, I'm out.
Deuces. Yvette, what say you? Say it with your chest.
Your love language. Your love language.
But man, I guess the quality time, because I'm real strong on actions. I observe all your actions, but I'm like that too. I like to be also told too. I mean, sometimes you can show me one thing and you mean another thing. So yeah, I like to be told too.
Direct message.
I think too, women sometimes will assume that a guy feels a certain way based off of how they interpret an action or something else. So I think it's important to have those conversations and ask, hey, how do you show love? This is what I need for love. How do you feel about me? Affirmation comes in, because if they're showing stuff, you're assuming, oh, they love me. No, that just might be what they do on a regular. Like, the words of affirmation do come into play. You might not need it all the time, but at least sometimes to know your footing. And it's important for people not to just assume somebody else feels something, because then you're going to be out there looking like Bobo the Fool half the time.
And see, for me, I just look at it like, I'm a little bit different. I say I'm not affectionate. I try to be, but it's really not who I am. But if you ever see me affectionate, then you already know you top billing. But how I show my love language, you in my house, ain't you? You drove my car, didn't you? Because I promise you, if I don't feel for you, none of that would take place. So, and it's not right. I have to get better. This is an area I think I got to work with. Because I know when I was married.
That's trust. That's trust. That's trust. That's not saying that you love that person. That's trusting that person.
No, that's how I show my love. Like I trust me. If I don't love you, you will never make it to my bedroom. You won't make it in my house. You won't make it to my car. I don't have nothing to do with people I don't love. And I remember when I was married, my husband was like, well, you can't kiss me sometimes. Like just in the middle of the day. So we was going to bed and I just patted him on the head because I didn't know what to do. Nigga, we be here all day up under each other. Go to sleep.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. What?
Wow. That's not bad. That's you. That's who you are.
Oh my God.
I could get better with that, best pugilist. I could get better.
That's you. Yeah, but you know that now. But at the end of the day, look, I'm sure y'all dated for some time before y'all got to the point where y'all got married, right?
Not enough
so these
time.
things.
I said we was married.
But I'm saying, this is what I'm talking about. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. When you when you're dating and you spending time with this person, that's what you're supposed to be finding out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before you make the
Mhm.
most serious commitment you can make, which is marriage and the dating scene. You understand? So these are what you're supposed to find out. You shouldn't wait till you married and you 10 years deep or 3 years deep in and she ain't kissing you. That's on you,
And
Jack.
finding
You
out you
supposed to
gotta
find.
take stuff off the car.
Yeah, exactly. So that's on you. So when it comes to that, for me, the love language, just quality time and communicating and stuff like that. And you can show it more because you don't have to say it to me. Because one adage I learned as a child, and I found it to be the absolute truth in my life, is a person's actions speaks louder than their words. Like she was saying, she could show
Yep.
her love by the fact of, I let you hold my car, I let you do
Right.
this, I let you do that,
That's
because
her love language.
that's her love language. So that speaks more because a person can
Yeah.
look you dead in your face and tell you they love you and be messing with your homeboy
Right.
who live right next door to you. They can look you dead in your face and tell you that.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
Ready
I
to
think
get poked. Gonna
but
get
I
their
think
poked.
it's
Them the
actions
good
gonna
woman
show.
names.
But their actions will show it. Like my mother, like I get in a fight with my siblings all the time about this. They be like, "Oh, you bugging, you crazy." Like honestly speaking, I don't remember my mother telling me she loved me. And they argue me to death. Boy, you crazy as hell, mama. Now I remember my father showing that though, that type of affection and saying stuff like that. And they argue me and fight me down. But my mom showed me with her actions. She showed me about the
Hmm.
things she actually did.
Yeah.
So that's what I really look for more. If you say it, I ain't gonna tell. I'm not gonna demand that you say it. It's on you, but you gotta show it to me because my eyes are to see it. I'm gonna be watching you. So if I don't see it, then I'm gonna be. Then that's when my any doubts I may have. But I'm not overly crazy about it in terms of you have to say. If you say it and it's good for you, so be it. I'm not. Even though I'm a man, I'm not ashamed to say that. Like I tell my daughters and my kids that all the time. You know that I love them. I don't have no fear, no shame about that. You know, so everybody's different and uniquely. But when it comes down to that dating scene, find out what you need to know. Don't wait till you get in, make the biggest step, and then you finding out. Oh, she don't like the kiss. You should have found that out in y'all second date or y'all second day talking or something. I can't be bad. I can't be mad at you after the fact of something that I didn't really invest myself into finding out.
You
So
know,
hey, it is
you
what
know
it
what's
is.
funny nowadays? You could be
What?
in like almost engaged, and you don't even know this nigga middle name or last name. Well, they call him popcorn. I don't know, I don't know his name, but
Yeah, or either you know him through that nickname and not their
yeah.
real name.
You mean JoJo? JoJo around the corner, and you be like, do you know his name? So before they ask what you bring to the table, what is your whole government name? Is that
Yes.
fair?
I think
Is that
people get too caught up on the feeling of love. You, as long as you're with somebody, you're gonna fall in and out of love. It's an emotion. Like it's up to you to find that spark. And if you're in a relationship, it's gonna be work. There's more to a relationship than just the feeling. Are you compatible? Financially, raising kids, spiritually, whatever else. You have to be compatible in all those. But if you're compatible in all those, but hey, they're not showing you they love you in your love language that you understand, that's where that communication comes in, and you have to let them know, because they might be showing you and think, what is she talking about? Or he's talking about, I'm showing them I love them, but it's not being received that way because that's not the other person's love language. If you care for that person and you love them and you're compatible on the other end, then okay, that's their love language. It ain't mine, but okay, that's one of their needs. Too easy. Check that block. That's how they need. That's to let them know that I love them. Okay, I can do that.
so?
And
Why do people always
Yeah,
know
that's
what they
well
don't
said.
like? Yeah, why do people always know what they don't like before they know what they like? Because I can rattle off a list of things I
Yeah.
don't like, but
because
Because
you
I
know,
think
sometimes,
we take each other for granted.
yeah.
We always quick to be like, oh, I don't like that, but we don't look, we're not grateful for what we have. And once you start being grateful for what you have first, before you start talking about what you
Who
ungrateful
eating
for.
chips?
What's that noise?
Is that Yvette? Yvette, is that you
It
eating
ain't
chips
me this
still?
time, y'all.
It ain't Vance Pugilist. What you doing? Tay. I'm just joking.
But
Remember
once we,
her?
Yeah, that
but
might have
then
been me.
I think we just
Okay.
need to start taking inventory of what you're grateful for, because with anybody, you don't want to be, you never want to be browbeat with what I ain't doing, because what that person is doing, they like, why I just wash the dishes, and I don't even like washing the dishes. I just cleaned up the bathroom, and I hate cleaning up the bathroom. So they doing those acts of service that you like, that they hate. So in their mind, I just told you I love you, but you ain't taking inventory of those things.
You know what my love language is? A nigga who folds clothes.
Exactly.
Boy, oh boy, if you fold, hey, what? In this household, boy, you going far. I'll be like, what? Did he just fold that shirt? Because
Hmm.
I'll wash all day. I love to wash. But folding, mm-mm. And a nigga who can cook. Them two things right there, I'm be like trying to build a nigga. He fold clothes, he cook, or whatever. But I don't like stingy, cheap men. And when I say that, I don't mean to say um, that you as an individual can't be that. I'm saying you won't be for me, and you don't have to spend a lot on me because I'm not greedy. Everything I need or want, I get. I don't. My first instinct is to not say, "Baby, can you get? Can I have?" My first instinct be like, "Damn, I see that I want that. Let me get my ass up and take my ass to the store, or let me order it online." But I don't like a stingy nigga because the stingy nigga, in my opinion, and best future just excuse us, we see it through women eyes, so it's got to be Nick. You know what I'm saying? But when the dude is stingy, then guess what? He likes shit that is expensive. He's usually opposite of what he is. What he give you is not what he wants. And that's a pet peeve too. Not just with money or things or whatever. I cannot stand somebody who wants something but real regal and real frugal when it comes time to give it. But when it's time to get it, oh they top shelf everything.
Oh yeah,
Nothing will
they
boil
all
my
in.
blood more than that shit. DJ, DJ. Hey, daddy. What's up? Come on in here. You see the link up there? We ain't gonna bite you unless you want us to. I'm just joking. DJ, come on up in the place. But yeah, I don't like that one way street shit. Like that to me will drive me crazy. That'll have me looking at you when you sleeping like, oh, bitch ass nigga, like fuck out my house. Like I'm rehearsing kicking you out. It's you that took me down the path of I can't stand you because I don't understand that. I don't know how you fix your lips to ask for something and want top shelf, but every time you gotta give something, humming. What happened was what had happened was I don't want to hear that because one, you don't have to give nothing at all. But if you fix your mouth to ask for something, this is when you're in violation. What say y'all to that?
Well, I agree to an extent, but I think you do have influence, and that's why I go back to, we don't we don't use our power as women, because we just get mad, and then we feel like there's nothing we can do. He just cheat, and that's just it. That's just how he is. We don't use our influence. We see that he'll spend. It's just in this area right here, he don't want to spend. So use your influence to maneuver and get what you want. He asked for something from you and you generous. Stop being generous. Stop being
But
generous.
then but people like that,
Hmm.
Lisa, they always got something to say. When they not getting what they want, they got something to say. Like it could be just birthday gifts. My birthday come up, it's cricket. I'm playing for you or awkwardness. That's how it sound on my birthday. You know what I'm saying? But when their birthday come up, hey, you know my birthday next week. Hey, so what you
Mhm.
getting me for my birthday? I wonder what we're gonna do.
And I'll
Ooh,
sit there and tell them I'm gonna get you the same thing you got me.
Yeah.
is that the mundo? But
So
I
that's
don't like that. Just even though I know how to handle that, that is a pet peeve. That's kind of like falling into my love language because that shit is so common amongst people, period. I don't even like that with friends, just to be honest. I don't like that with friends. Like you can fix your lips to ask for some shit and you ain't never on the end of giving. I can't with that. When we
yeah.
lost Best Pugilist, oh the king, we lost him.
Mhm.
So that's part of my, like I said, part of my love language. There's so many other things, and in my love language, like I said, I can rattle off the stuff I don't like. It's hard for me to rattle off the stuff that I do like. So I'm like, if you don't do what I don't like, then we good. Then you're basically doing everything I like. But you never know until you have that experience. And like you said, Carmen earlier, you got to be complete. They can't add to your happiness. You already got to be happy coming into it, and that way nothing gets to you, nothing offends you. You know, and you can answer questions just by assessing the person. DJ says, "What y'all talking about, Miss T? What you talking about, Willis? Grown woman talk." DJ, you want to jump in here? The link is so. And let me put the link back up in there, cause you know DJ, he gonna give us some. Ooh. So whoa. I don't know what that was. Okay. Um, DJ, the link is in there. Best Pugilist said, I got knocked off, sisters. I'm heading out to work, but it was great talking with you. I'm going to get the chat. Listen. Thank you, King. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. We hope to see you tonight, too. Um, but the link is in the chat. The phone lines are open. Everybody on Facebook, y'all can call in, too. Shout out to all of y'all, but I can't see y'all. Y'all need to come into the studio so then we can see you. Say it with your chest. What say you? Get up in the chat. Say what you got to say. And, join in and have some fun. Anybody else got a love language? Anybody else got a topic? Anybody? This is all I hear. I made some pro. Look, I hope I hit the right button on this one. Y'all remember this?
Sorry to make threats you surely don't mean. Don't fuck with me, fellas! This ain't my first time.
Good luck, and don't fuck it up.
Who said that? For $100 Monopoly money, who said that? Good luck, and don't fuck it up. Any takers? $100 Monopoly money. DJ in the building was popping King. Nobody know? That's RuPaul.
What's going on, Miss T? How you feeling tonight?
I'm good. Look at that deep voice. Hey, DJ.
How y'all doing, man? How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing great. How about yourself?
Fantastic.
You came in on the part where we talking about what's your love language. DJ, do you want to share what your love language is?
I'm hearing the echo. I'm hearing a bad echo.
You probably got to turn off some stuff around you. Like, I don't know if you're at your laptop or computer or something.
Ooh, my love language.
We hear you clear. Yeah, your love language.
No, I'm on my phone.
Okay. He got a thing.
If you gotta think about it.
I know I'm a combination person, so mine is acts of service. It is some words of affirmation because, like I said, I'm not going to assume anything, so I need to hear it at least once. But yeah, the biggest part is act. I don't know. I'm a combination person. See, you already know. Like I show mine, I'm a big giver. That's how I show mine is acts of service and giving. I don't ever give though expecting anything in return. For me, I'm a simple person. I want the little acts that show you care. Do something. Send me a picture out the day. Text me throughout the day. If you're a creative person, make me something that shows that you put forth, that I crossed your mind, that, you know, you put forth effort to show me. I don't even care if it's make a peanut butter jelly sandwich and take me to the park. We having a picnic, something stupid like that. Just something out of the blue. Like, for me, it don't take much. I don't care about gifts. My ex-husband used to screw up left and right and then come with a ton of gifts trying to make up for it. So to me, that don't mean anything. But the flip side is, I am somebody like, okay, this person needs this, or I see something that, you know, the person I care about, oh, they could really use this. They would like this. And I get it for them because I know there's something they could use or something they would like.
DJ, you ready?
Mine is just, you know, being able to really connect with you. Like, if I can come to you and talk to you about anything, no matter what it is. It could be what happened at my job. It could be something in sports. It's just listening. Just listening to me. You don't even have to necessarily engage in the conversation. As long as I feel like you're listening, that's a big deal for me. I like to see my wife be a mother. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's something about her taking care of my daughters that is a big deal for me. Whether it's doing their hair, getting them ready for school, that is a big deal for me. It is a big deal for me, man. So, what else? Yeah, I mean, I'm a people pleaser for the most part. So, seeing her happy makes me happy. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's, you know, whatever, I'm not going to say whatever she likes, because it's a lot of stuff, because I'm not one of those guys who believe in, you know, happy wife, happy life. Either we're both going to be happy or we're both going to be miserable. Happiness is something that we should be in together because we're partners.
Correct.
Would y'all agree or disagree?
I agree.
I'll agree. I think when you're in a relationship, if one person has an issue, it's an issue for both people. You might not be able to fix that other person's issue, but being there for them, whether it's just being there, the ear to listen, the shoulder to cry on, you know, give them a boost to get them up, whatever the case is. I think that's important.
Gotcha.
As
Like,
you
whenever.
said, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it sounds like you're saying if we both on the same page, that we both gonna coexist good. It's about coexisting in peaceful harmony, right?
That's right. Nothing disturbs our peace. Like, it's certain things, like when we're outside the house, like, we can disagree all we want outside the house. But whenever we're together outside the house, we're on the same team, no matter what. We can disagree when we get back home, but we're not going to disagree in front of other people. And
that's her saying, praise in public and, you know, punish or do whatever in private. Nobody outside your home should be in the middle of whatever, or should be listening to y'all argue, or you shouldn't be going to your friends catting, you know, this person did this, always running them down. Your issues are your issues that you handle in private. Now, if they're not resolved and you need advice from somebody, get advice from somebody with a good head on their shoulder. Don't get advice from your miserable friend who ain't got nothing, ain't been in a relationship, the misery love company one. Can't do that one either.
And like, I don't, besides, like, we don't run and tell our mother stuff about our relationship, because nobody can tell me anything about my woman that I don't already know. 9 times out of 10, I already know what makes her happy. It's a matter of me wanting to do it. And I already know, you know, if I messed up, I already know what I did to mess up. Okay, how am I going to fix it? Or do I care to fix it because I feel like I'm right? So we'll just kind of go from there. It's like, okay, we're here now. How can we go forward with this? What do I need to do? What can I do in my abilities to fix this? Is there anything I can do? And a lot of times it's nothing I can do. It's something that my wife will be dealing with herself. It's like, there's nothing you can do, babe. It's just what I'm feeling right now. I know to give her what she really wants is space. It's like, okay, I just need space to think right now. So she'll go to the other side of the house. She'll do her homework. She'll shop online or she'll read a book or something. I just know to give her space, and then we'll come back and we'll revisit the conversation later.
In Shape Street Fighter is in the building. What's poppin', King? What got?
I'm good. How y'all ladies doing?
My man.
Look at that voice.
We're doing well.
Stop blushing. Stop blushing. I gotta
Yes,
call.
ma'am.
I gotta call y'all out. You and DJ. I gotta call y'all out when I hear y'all. Hey, Daddy. What's good? What's good? What's good with you?
Nothing. I just believe in that whole unified front thing. Like we don't really clown in public and all that stuff, you know, the stereotypical stuff that's normally associated with us. So I just kind of wanted to chime in on that part. And I am a caregiver. I came from a family of caregivers. So, you know, communication is important. I don't enjoy like not understanding. And I do take time out to really talk with my wife and everything. She wasn't really accustomed to that at first. And I told her sometimes I take that as deception, you know. That's why I made that comment in the chat earlier. And I feel as though that if we're going to spend our life together, eat, drink, sleep, and all that, we should be able to cover pretty much all our bases that we need to. Because if not, it's just selfishness. Somebody's more concerned about their feelings than, you know, us as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I'm just kind of trying to listen to the ladies and, like they say, learn a little something because I'm always kind of running my mouth. So, like I said, I'll go back on mute, Miss T.
Right. I figured I'd enter the Lions Den since Miss T came over there and, you know, spent so much time with us last night, giving a woman's perspective on a lot of things. So I figured I'd enter the Lions Den tonight and see what happens.
Look, y'all know y'all welcome. We didn't hurt y'all, did you? See, we're harmless.
No, y'all don't bite. Y'all don't bite.
Hey, look, I don't know how you gonna feel after this next question. So,
okay. Oh Lord, here we go.
You said where it's going. You know, I see through my eyelids. You know, remember Picasso last night?
Boy, Picasso crazy.
Boy, champion hot head,
Oh,
me
Lord.
dying laughing. But okay, so what is the thing that irks y'all? Like, there got to be something that irk y'all. Like,
Not communicating.
Lack
Not
of communication.
communicating.
That's a big one. Lies.
Man,
I don't even care if it's little. If you lie about something small, you would damn sure lie to me about something big. Inconsistencies. That's another one. You have to be consistent and match my effort.
Damn, look at her. That's my final answer. Miss Yvette, what you got on it? What you got on it?
Well, you know what? I'm really pretty much where she at. You gotta stay consistent and Lord, please don't lie.
My daddy always told me a man is only as good as his word. If you don't keep your word, you ain't worth nothing.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
Fighter, do you agree with that?
Oh, that's what I said earlier is communication because, I mean, you just take into consideration your own feelings when you lie. You know, you want things to stay the same for you and you're willing to sacrifice everything around for you to keep that little stasis or whatever. So it's selfishness anyway. So yeah, if we can't just sit down and talk, I mean, come on. I mean, we make noises with our mouth so we know what the hell's going on in our heads. You know what I mean? So if you want to let me know what's going on in your head, then what are we sitting there doing? That's it. I mean, because like she said earlier, I'm not a mind reader. I can kind of read body language. Of course, the same here. But if you don't want to take the time out just to tell me something, just give me a kind word sometime. You know, how some people, it's hard for them to do something along the lines that, you know, then of course there's nothing else left for us here, man. And I don't want to sound so dark and dismal, but you know, that's pretty much it. Because my mom was very straightforward. She raised her boys that way. She explained to us about what we should and shouldn't do with women. She was big on that because, of course, she had been through things too. She had been damaged. You know, most of women coming out of the South and moving around have things like that, stories. So she told us that the one thing she regretted was not communicating more. Like you said, people just kind of stay quiet You know, they don't say anything in the house. They just assume all the time. So as she grew older, she realized that was a way for people to be able to abuse you too. The less I talk to you about, you know, the less I'm held accountable for. But I don't want to get long-winded, Miss T. Let me back out again.
Lisa, jump in there.
And it's just something about, I've always prided myself on saying there's never gonna be anything that my wife doesn't know about me. Like, she's never gonna hear anything from anybody else that she didn't hear from me first, or that she didn't already know. Nothing is gonna surprise her about me, because 9 times out of 10, I've already told her. It's like, look, this is how I'm feeling about this, or this is what happened, or this is what I want to happen. So if somebody comes to her and was like, did you know that he didn't like this? Or did you know that he was like that? Of course I knew. We talked about that, 2 months ago. Oh, okay. So there's never going to be anything that her messy friends, or not saying that she has messy friends, but there's never going to be anything that her friends can tell her about me that she doesn't already know, and vice versa. Because I believe we're 2 parts of a whole. Like I say, she's a lot smarter than me. So I say she's my brain and I'm her personality. She's an introvert. She really don't like to communicate with people. I'm a people person. I'll talk to people. She's the more caring person, and I have to be the more stern person. She's the softer side. It's like Velcro. I'm the rough, scratchy part. She's the soft, fussy part. We just go together.
I heard that. Lisa, you want to jump in there?
I agree with Carmen. One thing I can't is my deal breaker is lack of communication, because assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. It really, really is, because no one is a mind. The only person that can read my mind is Jesus, and I know you ain't on his level. I know you ain't there. None of us are. So if I can't have a relationship with somebody that is can sit down and will give me the silent treatment versus talking to me, or you notice their mood changes, then that's not somebody that's compatible with me. Because so we and all of us are at the age where you should be able to sit down and have a conversation about how you feeling. And if you can't do that, and you just gonna walk around with an attitude and change the energy in the room where now everybody's walking on eggshells, including the kids, you're not somebody that we're not compatible, because you can't communicate. And so that infects everything else. It infects the kids, because they can't come talk to you if you got kids in the home. It just infects everybody, because they have to deal with figuring out what's wrong with you versus just talking about let's figure this out. Because whether or not you realize it, your body language, like we talked about her earlier, your body language is giving that energy there's something wrong. So whether you're saying it out your mouth or not, everything you're doing lets us know there's something wrong.
Yeah, and that's what I was speaking on earlier. Like, whenever me and my wife have an issue, like, straight away she doesn't want to talk about it. She'll just go out to herself, get her thoughts together. I was like, okay, when you're ready to talk about this, I'm gonna be here. I'm not going anywhere. You can get used to it. I'm not going anywhere. So whenever you're ready to talk about it, I'll be here. And I'll know something is wrong, because that comes from learning your partner, learning your mate, or whatever. I'll know something is wrong because she has tics. Everybody has tics. Whether her face will scrunch up a certain way, she'll scratch her head, she'll start popping her knuckles. Okay, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. Okay, when you're ready to talk about it, we'll talk about it, because I can clearly see something's wrong. Your whole temperature just changed. Your whole energy just changed. I know when something's wrong with you. So whenever you're ready to talk about it, I'm not going to push it out of you. If and when you're ready to talk about it, I'll be here. And then 2 or 3 hours later, she'll, okay, let me tell you what happened. Okay, I'm going to sit back and listen now. How can we fix this?
Mm-hmm.
How can I make it better? And a lot of the times, whenever she wants something done or whenever she wants something to happen, she'll kind of mention it like matter of fact. Oh, oh, that's cute. Oh, I like these shoes. Oh, I hadn't had any crab in a while. Okay, I guess we're going to have some crab tonight. So she's like, oh, we don't have to go if you don't want to, because she knows I hate seafood.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I guess we're going to do. Well, we don't really have to. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Because anything else I want to eat tonight, you're not gonna eat it. You'd rather go to bed and starve before you eat what I want to eat. So let's just go, and I'll just suck it up, and I'll have whatever they're having at their restaurant.
I don't know what you could get if something else. It's like I don't like seafood either, but if I go somewhere where they just have seafood, I'll be like, y'all serve steak? How about the bread?
Oh, all these restaurants got loaded baked potatoes.
Yeah, look at that. Yep.
Okay, I'll have the loaded baked potato. I'm good on shrimp. I'm good on crab, lobster, all that. It's not necessarily the taste, it's the texture. I don't like that texture in my mouth. But go ahead.
Butter, what say you?
Man, I've tried it. It's not for me.
Butter on me.
I'm here. I'm listening. I'm doing what Red asked the fellas to do, is sit back, listen, observe. But see, I already know what it is. My thing is communication is the key. And not only that, great energy. I have been in relationships where you do have to figure out what's wrong with the other person. I guess I'ma always say what's wrong with me because I want to feel better. Mm-hmm. I have to feel better. So I'm going to say it. So if they, and most men will call that nagging, that's their way of getting out of, talking and communicating, because they have something that they may be hiding. And with women intuition, we always find out. I don't know why they figure that we would never find out. But being that I'm in a great situation now, I don't have to figure out anything. So the communication, spending quality time, you then become my best friend. And that's what I enjoy about my situation now. I have a best friend in my relationship.
And see, and all this came out from, like, we started this topic of the initial topic was, being asked, what do you bring to the table? And see, all these things we're talking about now, it's coming out by getting to learn that person, and getting to learn that journey of getting to learn that person. You have found out, okay, I need to give this person space when they don't want to talk. This person just needs, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And those are agreements that you may have. Okay, give them 10, 20 minutes, give them an hour, go to our separate corners, and then we'll re-engage a conversation of, what's been going on. You haven't been talking, because what you don't want is somebody that's, they're being passive aggressive. They having these condescending almost comments to you all the time, but they really got something else to say versus saying what you need to say. So you go to your separate corners, and then you say, okay, what's really going on? You keep being a little, I feel like you've been a little passive aggressive toward me. So let's really talk about what is it that's maybe bothering you. Is it something that is going on at work, something with the, like you said, she's going with school, or you just needed, you just not feeling like yourself today? Because something that can just be like, some days you're just not feeling it. So that all comes out with getting to learn somebody. When you get to learn somebody, and then you can bow out and say, you know what, this ain't for me. You keep doing it. I told you how it makes me feel. And, in the dating phase, and I think we need to, this is not going to work out. I don't think we're compatible. But, again, if you're married, that's not really something that, unless they, they beating on you and they really, really emotionally trampling on your spirit, you have to make the determination whether or not you're going to walk away from that type of situation.
Damn, well, you capsulized it best.
Mm-hmm.
Look at God. Look at God. Go ahead.
I say, drop the mic after that.
Drop the bam. Stop the boom. Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom. Hey, so I always like to lead kind of like on a happy note. This is Friday, y'all. Y'all
Yeah.
gotta get it off y'all chest. Unwind. Who you want to say? Fuck you too. Go ahead and say it with your chest. Is it your boss? Is it that nigga on the block? Who is it? Go ahead and say it. Carmen, I'm gonna start with you.
Tyson Fury.
Oh, Tyson Fury. Okay. DJ got Tyson Fury. Fuck him all the way up. In shape Street Fighter. You got
No,
somebody
I'm
you wanna-
good, y'all. I got a lot of good news today, so it ain't really nobody I want to curse
Oh,
out. So
congratulations.
yeah, I'm in a good place right now. So
Blessing.
yes,
You ain't got
man.
nobody from last week? I'm just
Nah, nah, I'm good.
Miss Yvette, who you got to say? Fuck you too. They don't watch my show. Talk about it.
No, nobody really. I pretty much had a good day today. So
Yeah.
no,
Butter.
nobody.
Hold on, let me
You
unmute
caught me
myself.
last week, man.
Gotta cut you last. Well, you can say it. You can retroactive some shit. Butter, you got anybody?
Did you say the boss, the supervisor?
Yeah.
Did you say that?
He don't watch my shit. Come on with it.
I don't like anybody playing with my money. So fuck anybody that plays with my money.
I heard that. But he
Oh
got
yeah.
the point now, right? He got the point now, Butter, right?
Oh, I handled that loud and clear.
See,
Very respectfully, dignity. Nothing more, nothing less. He don't know how to come out. When I went to work, it was crickets playing music in that house.
so you can hear a pin drop. Now moving on to you, Carl. I know you gonna say fuck. Hey, you know your friends ain't watching this shit. They don't know me like that. Come on.
Oh no, my big fuck you to them is them getting to see me continuing succeeding. That's my big
Succeeding.
Fuck them
So
always.
I'ma let them
Lisa.
snakes keep watching and keep being mad.
There you
So
go.
fuck all haters. Fuck them haters.
Fuck all haters. Lisa, who you got?
You know, I
You know
don't
the
have-
boss man ain't watching this.
No, you know what? My boss puts me on. I got a great boss on for fortunately. But all I got is, devil is a lie. So he can get the FU.
Oh damn, he on the list anyway, Lisa.
Mm-hmm. He always on the list.
He ain't never got off the list.
He ain't never got off.
Ever.
Stomp him.
Put your ear together, huh? Okay, so that's the end. I always end with when you know better, just do better. In shape Street Fighter. I might see y'all there tonight. Y'all ain't gonna keep me up all night now.
We'll try our best though.
Day. Oh my God! But I love
I was
it.
just about to say, yeah, we'll try. We'll keep you in there as long as we can. And ladies, y'all feel free to come through if you want.
T, you know you're gonna be up there all night. They're gonna sucker you in with some conversation.
They're gonna say so. We can't look. The last place we dropped off was child support. We didn't get out, but I had to leave. DJ, I can't wait to see y'all tonight. And if y'all don't ever see me, I'm somewhere in the damn snow. Where I get that from? $100 Monopoly. $100 Monopoly money. Nobody? Okay. Now, if I don't see y'all, it's because I fell asleep.
Well, maybe we might go on a little earlier tonight. I don't know. I ain't talked to Kyle to see if we got plans today.
Half of y'all be at work when y'all on there, and y'all take it through the whole night. but I gotta say, I enjoy myself. Thank y'all. I definitely gotta pace myself, y'all, cause like this is a show that go on, and you don't get tired. It be like, cause I was thinking about y'all when I was at the VA, saying to myself, I wonder what they talked about. I try to pull y'all up, and I wasn't getting the right feed or something. I don't know. But I had a good time, and I'll definitely be back as many times as I can. Thank you, Lisa, for gracing us with your presence. Karma, the same thing. Butter, the same thing. Miss Yvette, the same thing. DJ and Shape the Street Fighter. Thank y'all for coming in and having fun with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Anytime
ma'am.
you
Yes,
have me.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you too, though.
Y'all on Barbershop Conversations this Sunday night, right?
Right.
Right. And then I'll see y'all Monday. Hopefully. Thank y'all, Queens. Anytime y'all want to drop in, hit us some stuff. Y'all come in. Y'all anytime y'all got something to say, get off y'all chest. Y'all come in. Facebookers, please start coming in the chat so we can see you. And my number's always scrolling at the bottom. When you know better, you do better. And on that note, I bid you adieu.